What if the most powerful force shaping your destiny isn't your talent, your connections, but the invisible choices you make before breakfast? Not grand decisions, not dramatic turning points, the tiny, almost imperceptible moments that most people sleepwalk through entirely. Today, I want to reveal that mastering your life doesn't demand miracles. It demands mindful, intentional decisions anchored in God's wisdom. Because when you align even the most microscopic choices with genuine purpose, you unlock a life of absolute clarity, unstoppable power, and extraordinary momentum. Sit with this for a moment. What if your life isn't shaped by luck, talent, or external circumstance, but by the nearly invisible choices you make every single day? Today, we explore the art of mastering life through simplicity, razor-sharp focus, and God-centered wisdom. Every morning, without even realizing it, you are standing at the edge of countless crossroads. Some are obvious. Do I rise immediately or surrender to the snooze button? Do I begin my work with laser focus or drift into procrastination? Others are completely subtle. Do I respond with patience when frustration surges, or do I allow damaging words to escape? Each of these moments may appear small, even completely inconsequential, but these are the moments where your actual life is genuinely built. God has architected life in a way that your future is constructed brick by brick through the decisions you make right now. And this is the foundational truth I must share with you. Your destiny is not determined by fate, luck, or circumstance. It is determined by the seemingly insignificant daily decisions you make either consciously or unconsciously. Picture a morning exactly like this. You wake feeling exhausted, the heaviness of yesterday still pressing on your chest. You face two immediate choices: remain in bed and surrender the day, or rise. Inhale deeply and confront the day with genuine intention. One path leads to stagnation. The other generates a ripple that can penetrate every single corner of your existence. Choosing to stand up, to move despite real discomfort, is not heroic in the conventional sense the world celebrates. But it is genuinely powerful. It is precisely the kind of power that forges your character, sculpts your resilience, and quietly architects a life overflowing with purpose. Every small, deliberate decision to pursue what is right, what is genuinely productive, what authentically aligns with God's wisdom, accumulates relentlessly. Over weeks, months, and years, these choices compound into a life that feels genuinely unstoppable. A life not surrendered to chance, but mastered through consistent intention. Examine how you communicate with others throughout each day. Words are fleeting, but their consequences endure permanently. When someone cuts you off in traffic, do you react with unchecked anger, allowing that single moment to poison your entire day? Or do you consciously select calm, perhaps even offering a brief, sincere prayer for patience? One deliberate decision to respond with grace rather than frustration not only transforms your emotional state, but can reshape every interaction you experience for hours afterward. Your words, guided by thoughtful, intentional choices, generate a ripple effect that touches people in ways you may never witness, but God witnesses everything. These daily choices, perpetually unnoticed, not in the quiet victories that ultimately define the authentic quality of your life. Consider health, which so many people neglect completely until it becomes genuinely urgent. You can choose that extra indulgence, or you can choose a nourishing meal that fuels your body with purpose. One decision seems trivial in isolation, but repeated consistently over time, its effects become absolutely enormous. Choosing movement when your body resists. Choosing hydration over sugary drinks. Choosing genuine rest when fatigue overwhelms. All of these daily decisions honor the extraordinary life God has entrusted to your care. You are not making these choices in pursuit of perfection, but pursuing genuine mastery over yourself. And mastery is forged through repetition, never through grand dramatic gestures. It lives in consistently saying yes to what genuinely builds you and no to whatever quietly diminishes you every single day. Financial patterns represent another arena where daily decisions command immense transformative power. You might feel pulled to spend impulsively, chasing momentary pleasure and fleeting satisfaction. But a single deliberate decision to save, to invest in real growth, or to give generously back can carry lifelong consequences that compound dramatically. Every dollar you consciously choose to spend or preserve is a direct vote for the specific life you genuinely desire to build. God's wisdom speaks clearly here. Discipline exercised in small things produces lasting freedom in greater things. By genuinely mastering these small everyday choices, you seize complete control over the larger outcomes that once seemed completely beyond your reach. You construct a life that is powerfully intentional, not perpetually reactive. A life that flourishes because you chose to accept full responsibility for every single moment. Even how you respond to life's inevitable difficulties is fundamentally a daily choice. Life remains beautifully unpredictable. Setbacks will arrive without warning. But God has equipped you with the genuine ability to choose your response, to select resilience over despair, authentic hope over corrosive bitterness. The decision to confront adversity with real faith, courage, and unwavering persistence converts obstacles into genuine stepping stones. Obstacles into stepping stones. Each day offers fresh opportunities to select strength, patience, and wisdom over complaining or surrendering entirely. These daily choices, deceptively simple yet profoundly powerful, are the invisible architects of both your character and your ultimate destiny. Finally, contemplate those quiet private moments when absolutely no one observes. When no one notices your discipline, your genuine effort, your spontaneous kindness, God notices everything. The decisions you make in precisely these moments reveal who you genuinely are at your core, choosing complete integrity when deception would be far simpler, choosing genuine humility when pride whispers seductively, choosing authentic generosity when selfishness beckons loudly. All these daily decisions accumulate without ceasing. They construct a foundation for a life that is not merely successful by worldly measurements, but profoundly aligned with the higher purpose God has specifically designed for your existence. So today I challenge you to recognize every single choice as genuinely sacred. The small actions, the fleeting moments, the seemingly trivial decisions, they carry more transformative power than you have ever imagined. Each represents a deliberate step toward real mastery. Each offers an opportunity to align completely with authentic purpose. Each presents a genuine chance to honor the extraordinary life you have received. Never underestimate the compounding power of daily decisions. Master them completely, and you will master your life entirely. Choose with real wisdom, act with absolute intention, and allow God's wisdom to guide your every smallest step. Because it is through these apparently simple choices that genuinely extraordinary lives are constructed. Life possesses a remarkable talent for complicating itself, usually without us noticing at all, often without us even noticing. We pack our days with endless obligations, crowd our minds with constant worries, and weigh our hearts down with burdens that serve no real purpose. We assume that success, genuine peace, or lasting happiness requires accumulating more relentless work, more material possessions, more accumulated experiences. But God's wisdom reveals a profoundly counter-intuitive truth. Real clarity, authentic power, and enduring purpose emerge exclusively from embracing simplicity. When we courageously strip away everything unnecessary, when we deliberately choose the focused path illuminated by clear intention, life becomes not merely manageable, but genuinely extraordinary. Simplicity is never about accomplishing less. It's about pursuing what matters most with complete focus, real discipline, and genuine understanding. Study the morning practices of people who consistently achieve meaningful things. They never overwhelm themselves with elaborate complex schedules or endless exhausting lists. They arise, make deliberate conscious choices, and concentrate on the few powerful actions that will establish the entire tone for their day. Something as fundamentally simple as beginning with authentic gratitude, selecting a truly nourishing breakfast, or pausing just a moment to breathe deeply and genuinely center yourself can completely transform your entire mindset. The profound simplicity of concentrating on what genuinely matters eliminates mental clutter, sharpens your focus completely, and empowers you to move with real intentionality. Every single task, every individual choice becomes genuinely purposeful rather than purely reactive. God's wisdom is beautifully reflected in these deceptively simple daily habits. They create essential space for clarity, sustained energy, and authentic alignment with your highest calling. Consider your relationships honestly. How frequently do we unnecessarily complicate them through avoidable arguments, relentless overthinking, or completely unrealistic expectations? Deliberately choosing simplicity in our daily interactions with others, speaking with complete honesty, listening with genuine depth, extending kindness without any expectation, fundamentally transforms not only our connections but our entire internal peace. God has embedded profound clarity within genuine simplicity. When you consciously remove ego, unfounded assumptions, and pointless complexity, authentic communication flows naturally, meaningful relationships deepen organically, and life genuinely feels lighter and more joyful. Simple acts of genuine care, like a heartfelt sincere compliment, an outstretched helpful hand, or a completely sincere apology, carry extraordinary transformative impact. These small, uncluttered gestures wield far greater power than elaborate, complicated attempts to manufacture impressive moments. Financial decisions present another illuminating example. In a world saturated with constant advertising and relentless social pressures, it becomes dangerously easy to believe that genuine happiness arrives through accumulation. Yet, God's guidance consistently demonstrates that true clarity emerges through simplicity. Spending with genuine wisdom, saving with real discipline, and consistently prioritizing authentic needs over fleeting wants. Not a deliberately simple intentional financial choice, you make returns complete control of your life directly into your own capable hands, rather than surrendering it to external forces. Complexity inevitably breeds confusion, chronic stress, and debilitating indecision. Simplicity restores genuine freedom, empowering you to make truly meaningful choices aligned with your deepest values, establishing real stability, and strategically preparing for the future you genuinely desire. Even your inner thoughts can become hopelessly cluttered and overwhelming. We habitually overanalyze situations endlessly, worry incessantly, or chase every passing fleeting impulse. God's wisdom gently guides us toward the profound peace that arises when we consciously embrace mental simplicity. Consistent meditation, quiet, honest reflection, not in deliberately focusing on one meaningful thing at a time, can miraculously transform complete mental chaos into crystalline clarity. Picture a flowing river. When water moves freely and smoothly, It nourishes everything it touches and continually refreshes. When blocked and congested with accumulated debris, it becomes completely stagnant and thoroughly unproductive. Your mind functions in exactly this same way. By deliberately clearing unnecessary mental noise and focusing precisely on what genuinely matters most, you invite creativity, profound insight, not an authentic purpose, to flow completely unobstructed. Simplicity also powerfully transforms your capacity for decision making. When your life becomes entangled with overwhelming choices, complete indecision paralyzes your forward movement entirely. But when you genuinely commit to simplicity, consistently prioritizing whatever aligns with your deepest values, and confidently releasing all distractions, you advance forward with real conviction. Even God's wisdom embodies this liberating principle. The clearest, most direct path forward is almost always the simplest one. Yet it consistently demands genuine courage to release what is truly unnecessary. Every single choice made with authentic clarity and purposeful focus strengthens your entire life, building powerful momentum and making each subsequent decision progressively easier and more natural. Consider time, genuinely the most irreplaceable and precious resource any of us possesses. We chronically overfill our schedules completely, leaving almost no space for genuine reflection, meaningful growth, or truly impactful action. God's wisdom consistently demonstrates that embracing simplicity in how we steward our time creates essential space for what genuinely matters most. Saying a firm no to empty distractions, pointless unnecessary commitments, nor paralyzing overthinking allows us to invest our precious energy in work that produces real results, relationships that generate authentic joy, and habits that create genuine growth, and habits that bring growth. Simplicity never means experiencing less of life. It means experiencing an infinitely more intentional, genuinely powerful, and deeply fulfilling life. Even overwhelming challenges, when confronted with simplicity, transform into genuine opportunities. Even challenges, when approached with simplicity, instead of overcomplicating problems, with worry or doubt, we can break them down into simple steps, focus on solutions, and act with clarity. Life never needs to feel completely overwhelming and crushing. God has fully equipped us with the capacity to perceive the clear path forward when we deliberately remove the distracting noise. Every simple, deliberate step toward a meaningful goal, every purposeful action anchored in genuine intention compounds over time into truly remarkable achievement. Ultimately, simplicity is a profound divine gift. It allows you to hear God's wisdom more clearly, to perceive life's genuine opportunities more clearly, to see life's opportunities more clearly, and to move with authentic courage and genuine intention. It converts a chaotic, chronically stressful existence into one characterized by real focus, genuine peace, and clear, meaningful direction. By wholeheartedly embracing simplicity, you are not doing less or settling. You are deliberately choosing what authentically matters most. You are choosing what truly matters. You are liberating yourself completely from distraction, aligning powerfully with your deepest purpose, and walking a clearly illuminated path that leads directly toward mastery and genuine lasting fulfillment. So today, I invite you to examine your life honestly and ask this essential question: what can I genuinely simplify right now? Which specific distractions, chronic worries, or unnecessary complexities can I courageously release immediately? What small, completely clear choices can I make right now that will generate a powerful ripple effect of real clarity, genuine peace, and authentic purpose? Remember always, God's wisdom lives permanently within simplicity. Master the liberating art of simplifying your existence, and you will unlock a level of clarity that produces extraordinary growth, unshakable strength, and genuine lasting fulfillment. Within true simplicity, you discover the authentic power to live with complete intention, to act with absolute decisiveness, and to thrive in the fullest possible sense. Too often we become completely imprisoned by the dangerous illusion that life demands absolute perfection. We wait endlessly for the perfect moment to begin, the perfect strategy to materialize, or the perfect conditions to finally take meaningful action. Yet God's wisdom reveals clearly that perfection is never the genuine path towards success, mastery, or real fulfillment. Instead, it is consistency, small, steady, genuinely intentional actions, repeated faithfully day after day, that constructs truly extraordinary lives. Contemplate this profound truth carefully. A single drop of water, entirely consistent and absolutely relentless, can eventually carve through solid stone over sufficient time. In precisely the same way, consistent, genuine effort, even when visibly imperfect, shapes your ultimate destiny in ways that sudden brilliance or sporadic intense bursts of activity never possibly can. Examine your daily habits honestly. You might not exercise perfectly, eat perfectly, or reflect perfectly. Certain days you stumble completely, certain days life interrupts unexpectedly, and certain days your energy simply runs dangerously low. Yet the fundamental choice to return, to persist, to contribute whatever you genuinely can with real consistency is immeasurably more powerful than waiting indefinitely for perfect conditions. God's wisdom teaches us clearly that life consistently rewards those who genuinely show up, who persist faithfully, who act with real intention, even when the surrounding circumstances are far from ideal. The person who walks consistently for 10 minutes every single day will eventually complete a full marathon with confidence. The person who writes one honest paragraph daily will eventually hold their completed published book. The person who practices authentic patience and genuine kindness daily will eventually develop truly unshakable character that nothing can erode. Consider carefully how young children learn to walk confidently. Nobody waits patiently for perfect balance or precisely perfect timing to arrive. They fall repeatedly, stumble awkwardly, and rise again without hesitation. Their ultimate strength emerges from absolutely consistent effort, never from flawless perfect execution. Yet paradoxically, as adults, we frequently hold ourselves to completely impossible standards, paralyzed with fear and refusing to advance until every single condition feels perfectly aligned. God's wisdom consistently reminds us that the journey itself, faithfully powered by consistent, deliberate effort, forges our genuine strength, our authentic confidence, and our real lasting mastery. It is the daily imperfect steps that eventually compound into genuinely monumental achievements. Even within professional life, authentic consistency consistently surpasses elusive perfection. The person who writes one honest page daily, who reaches out to prospective clients with regularity, or who dedicates focused time to developing a valuable skill daily, builds genuine competence and an enduring positive reputation over meaningful time. Meanwhile, the person perpetually waiting for perfect inspiration or perfectly aligned conditions frequently waits their entire lifetime without ever beginning. Life simply does not reward perfection, it rewards authentic perseverance above everything else. Every small, steady effort compounds gradually. Every consistently repeated action builds into genuine skills, deeply ingrained habits, and remarkable results that appear almost miraculous to external observers who only witness the final outcome. This is the profound secret that God's wisdom whispers quietly but persistently to each of us. Genuine greatness is built in complete silence and through real consistency, never through public performance or dramatic spectacle. Authentic consistency also powerfully transforms your fundamental mindset. When you genuinely commit to regular intentional effort, you begin trusting yourself completely, your expanding abilities, and the unique direction of your journey. You stop being completely immobilized by fear of inevitable mistakes or harsh external judgment, because you deeply understand that mistakes are an essential natural component of meaningful progress. God teaches us clearly that mistakes are never true failures. They are opportunities as to evolve, intelligently adjust, and courageously continue forward. The person who practices faithfully every single day, even with obvious imperfection, develops genuine resilience, authentic patience, and deep lasting confidence. They discover clearly that real progress is never measured by achieving perfection in any single isolated moment, but rather by the unwavering, courageous commitment to consistently return, continuously improve, and persistently advance. Consider relationships from this perspective. Consider relationships. No lasting bond of genuine trust, deep loyalty, or authentic, meaningful connection is constructed through dramatic, grand gestures alone. Relationships genuinely flourish through consistent faithfulness, showing up for someone reliably and repeatedly, listening without any judgment whatsoever, providing steady, unwavering support regularly, and communicating love through small but powerfully consistent daily expressions. A single isolated act of kindness or one perfectly timed grand gesture remains fleeting and temporary, but completely consistent, heartfelt care creates bonds that prove genuinely unbreakable through any circumstance. God's wisdom lies within these beautifully simple, enduring truths. The people and precious lives we meaningfully touch, the authentic love and genuine support we consistently offer, and the positive, lasting influence we carefully cultivate are all dramatically amplified through sustained, consistent action accumulated over real time. Genuine consistency also builds unstoppable forward momentum that cannot be denied. Every small individual effort establishes the essential foundation for what follows immediately next. Every small effort lays the foundation for the next. Every single daily action, even when completely unnoticed in the immediate moment, compounds steadily and inevitably into meaningful, measurable progress. Consider actively learning a completely new valuable skill, whether it's painting, coding, or public speaking. Just one dedicated, focused hour daily may appear completely insignificant in isolation, but after consistent weeks and dedicated months, that accumulated hour genuinely transforms you entirely. What previously seemed completely impossible gradually becomes your new comfortable routine. What felt hopelessly distant suddenly becomes genuinely and clearly achievable. God's fundamental law of growth is elegant in its simplicity. Steady, completely deliberate, and faithfully repeated effort always decisively outperforms intermittent, sporadic brilliance. Even directly confronting painful, inevitable setbacks, consistency remains your most reliable and powerful anchor. Life will inevitably challenge you deeply, thoroughly test your patience, and sometimes push you completely to the very edge of what feels survivable. Yet those who faithfully maintain consistent effort, regardless of how seemingly small, through every form of adversity, will always emerge genuinely stronger and wiser. The difficult storms of life never truly define who you are at your core. Your response, faithfully and courageously repeated with real perseverance, is what ultimately defines you completely. Consistency builds genuine resilience. Consistency builds authentic mastery. Consistency builds deep, unshakable faith in the unique validity of your personal journey. So today, Genuinely embrace beautiful imperfection wholeheartedly. Release completely the crushing burden of trying get it all right at once. Instead, make a firm, unwavering commitment to showing up faithfully, acting with absolute intention, and contributing your very best every single day in every small choice, every small effort, every small habit, every small habit. God's wisdom remains elegantly simple yet profoundly transformative. It is never perfection that ultimately shapes your life in any meaningful way. It is completely consistent and genuinely deliberate action. Deliberate action. The individual who keeps advancing forward, who absolutely refuses to surrender, who takes deliberate daily steps even imperfectly and sometimes painfully, is truly and completely unstoppable. Your life is the direct cumulative result of what you do with complete consistency, never of what you manage to do with fleeting perfection. Embrace consistency wholeheartedly. Honor deeply the extraordinary compounding power of faithfully repeated effort. Trust completely in the unfolding process and witness with genuine amazement as your life transforms in ways that chasing perfection could never possibly achieve. Life possesses a remarkable talent for hurling completely unexpected challenges directly at us without warning. Sometimes it strikes suddenly. A devastating job loss, a frightening health scare, or a painful rupture with someone you deeply love. Sometimes it arrives slowly, steadily accumulating, the crushing weight of unfulfilled dreams, chronic financial stress, or persistent daily frustrations quietly mounting over time. In these defining moments, panic desperately whispers its familiar destructive message. It insists that everything is slipping away irreversibly, that you are completely powerless, that the entire overwhelming situation is simply unmanageable. But God's wisdom teaches us one absolutely fundamental truth. The situation itself never determines the ultimate outcome. It is your perspective, your capacity to see with genuine clarity, to deliberately pause, and to respond with complete calm and real intentionality that determines everything. Deliberately selecting perspective over panic is not avoidance or weakness in any form. It is among the single most powerful and transformative decisions you can make each day. Recall a specific moment when something went genuinely wrong in your life. A jarring sudden setback, a costly mistake, nor a completely unexpected serious problem. Your initial instinct may have been immediate fear, overwhelming anxiety, or desperately attempting to fix everything simultaneously. But when you deliberately step back and consciously choose perspective, the very same problem frequently appears far more navigable and solvable. When you intentionally pause, breathe deeply, and examine the situation through the clear lens of genuine wisdom, real actionable clarity begins to emerge naturally. Panic aggressively clouds your judgment, generates complete confusion, and consistently leads toward decisions that significantly worsen already difficult problems. Perspective. Genuinely guided by authentic faith in God's sovereign plan and real confidence in your capacity to respond wisely, allows you to identify the actual practical solution and take precisely the right steps forward, even when they feel uncomfortably small. Consider these completely familiar daily life scenarios. A frustrating traffic jam that jeopardizes your punctuality, an unexpected tense disagreement with a valued colleague, or a financial obligation that feels completely impossible to fulfill. Panic compels you to react with harsh words, to surrender to frustration, to spiral into endless unproductive worry. Perspective, by powerful contrast, illuminates real constructive alternatives. Adjust your departure time tomorrow. Respond with real composure. Instead of reacting defensively, establish a realistic monthly budget or a concrete step. By-step plan to address the expense decisively. What feels utterly overwhelming in the heated moment becomes genuinely manageable when you deliberately pause and consciously gain perspective. God has genuinely equipped you with the full capacity to step back completely, carefully assess the real situation, and act from a position of authentic calm strength rather than destructive reactive fear. Even regarding health decisions, deliberately choosing perspective over panic carries genuine life-altering significance. Receiving a difficult medical diagnosis or confronting a sudden frightening health scare can immediately trigger overwhelming, paralyzing fear. Panic dangerously clouds clear reasoning, generates intense harmful stress, and can genuinely worsen health outcomes measurably. But deliberately choosing perspective, seeking qualified expert guidance, thoroughly understanding all available real options, and concentrating your energy on clear actionable next steps, genuinely empowers you to reclaim your agency. You move powerfully from complete helplessness directly toward decisive, meaningful action, from paralyzing fear toward empowering, liberating clarity. Each conscious, deliberate choice made from genuine perspective moves you measurably closer to genuine recovery, meaningful growth, and enduring resilience. Perspective also fundamentally and permanently transforms all your important relationships. Perspective also transforms relationships. When conflict inevitably erupts, it becomes instinctively easy to react in complete panic, releasing harsh, damaging words impulsively, nursing deep-seated grudges, or retreating entirely into defensive withdrawal. But when you consciously choose real perspective, you begin asking yourself genuinely important questions. What is actually happening beneath the surface here? What is this other person genuinely experiencing emotionally? What represents the truly right and wise response here? Even when the honest answer feels personally uncomfortable and demands real sacrifice, God's wisdom is beautifully and powerfully reflected in these precise critical moments. God's wisdom is reflected in these moments. Acting consistently from genuine perspective rather than impulsive panic empowers you to respond with authentic understanding, remarkable patience, and sincere, genuine compassion. Relationships that genuinely teeter dangerously on the edge of permanent, irreparable damage are instead dramatically strengthened and permanently deepened. Now built on the solid foundation of thoughtful, measured responses rather than destructive, impulsive reactions. Financial pressure represents yet another crucial domain where deliberately choosing perspective over panic can completely and permanently transform your real-world outcomes. Imagine a sudden, completely unexpected major expense arriving without warning, a significant medical bill, or a critical car repair demanding immediate attention. Panic immediately declares that total financial catastrophe is inevitable, that you are completely trapped with no viable options, that failure is your only possible outcome. Genuine perspective empowers you to step back calmly, honestly assess all available resources, construct a realistic, concrete plan, and take completely measured, deliberate action. Perhaps you productively negotiate payment terms, strategically prioritize your most pressing obligations, or discover genuinely creative, unexpected solutions you hadn't previously considered. By consistently responding from genuine perspective, you successfully transform what initially appeared completely catastrophic into a genuinely manageable challenge. A valuable stepping stone toward deeper financial wisdom and lasting sustainable resilience. Even actively pursuing your most important, meaningful goals demands consistent perspective above almost everything else. When forward progress feels painfully slow and disappointing, when discouraging setbacks inevitably occur, or when stinging criticism arrives unexpectedly. Panic can overwhelm you with genuine impulses to completely abandon your path. Perspective consistently reminds you that meaningful obstacles represent an essential integrated part of every genuine journey forward, never as any indication of permanent failure. God's wisdom reveals clearly that divine timing, patient endurance, and unwavering persistence matter infinitely more than achieving immediate dramatic visible results. By consciously choosing perspective, you reframe every difficult challenge as a valuable lesson, a reliable guide, and an essential opportunity to grow measurably stronger. The very setbacks that previously triggered immediate panic gradually become recognized as significant, genuine milestones of authentic growth, powerfully shaping your real resilience, deepening your character, and ultimately contributing directly to your eventual hard-won success. Deliberately choosing perspective over panic also profoundly enriches your entire experience of living fully. Panic